Hello, guys. Welcome back. This is IELTS Speaking, Part 1. Today, we're going to talk about transport. This is topic number 12. If you haven't seen other topics, we have topic number 1 up to 11 we have covered so far. And as usual, we have 5 questions. I'm going to read the questions and also give you a sample answer. So, the first question is, what's your usual mode of transport? Well, it depends on where I am. If I am traveling somewhere, my usual mode of transport is whatever I can find as public transport. When I'm nearby home and there is an availability of a private car from time to time, but I'm a big walker. I love taking long walks, especially when I'm not in a hurry. So if I have a plan, I have to leave at least 1 hour before to make sure that I walk slowly going to that place and probably walking for 20 up to 30 minutes. It makes me feel great. And then later on, I will do whatever I want to do. If I have interaction with people, obviously, I love to go with a car probably or public transport to avoid a little bit of sweating and stuff. But when I'm going back home, I absolutely love to walk, coming back home and take a good shower, and that makes me feel great. So, yeah. Question number 2. Do you like using public transport? Yeah, it depends on the level of cleanliness and how fast I want to move and where I'm going. But as I said, I'm a big walker, so most places I go by walking, especially when I'm not meeting anyone, when I'm going to the gym, going to play basketball, or coming back home. I love walking. And using public transport, it depends on the city I am. In big cities, obviously, public transport could be the main transport, unless it's too crowded. When it's too crowded, I prefer to hire a taxi if it's within my budget. So I'd say, like, yeah, if it's clean and comfortable, and I'm not so much in a hurry, I love to use public transportation. Question number 3. Have you ever had a problem while traveling? Yeah, I remember once upon a time I was visiting a city in Tanzania called Arusha, and I was coming from Nairobi, I think. Yeah, I was exhausted. It was evening. I was in a hurry. I had to find a place to sleep because I hadn't been able to book an Airbnb. And I think the bus conductor ran with my money, the change. I gave him some extra money, and at the time of dropping, I just like kind of like took my bags, and it was super crowded, and asked for my money, etc. And I was kind of like, I'm looking for it, etc. And then I had to go down because it's super crowded. You can't stand in the middle of the bus. So I was kind of like, okay, whatever happens, happen. I actually took the risk, thinking like, okay, if he's a good person, he'd actually give me the money before leaving. But I knew that might happen. So after dropping down with my bags, he just, started the car and they left. And that was, I expected that like 90%, but it wasn't worth the bothering. I'll be giving other people in the middle of the crowded bus, arguing about the change or something like that. That was really a bad experience, especially in a city that I love to travel to. And from that day, I decided I'm never going to use public transport when I'm traveling to those kind of cities, especially the busy ones with the crowded public transports. Question number 4. How has transportation changed in your country? I don't think a lot has changed, but in the past, when I was younger, people used private taxis. Like taxis were kind of like a private public transport, and most people walked everywhere in my small town. So you either take a taxi or you walk. But nowadays we have shared transport, which is not very healthy. I don't like it so much. We have those three wheels. We call them bajaji, and they kind of like they're very common in Asia. Asian countries have this, especially India. I see a lot of them in movies. So you have like a driver's seat and the 2 or 3 people can sit at the back, and also have motorcycles. So motorcycles are crazy. Using motorcycles as public transport is one of the most stupid idea, though it's really fast, but they're too loud and they're making city unbearable. The city becomes unbearable, the town becomes unbearable, always loud when you go outside, and I'm not really great with um, too much noise. So it ruins the moments that I have when I'm visiting my town, especially when I'm outside. So this is not only in my town, but also all over the country, in other parts of the country. Also, this means of transport has become increasingly common. So I think it's the most common means of transport nowadays in Africa and Asia. Question number 5, what's the most popular way to travel in your city? I think I've explained this. We have those 3 wheels, we have motorcycles, we have public buses, faster moving buses, especially when you are in big cities. And we don't have much trains. If you're moving from city to city, you could have electric trains, which are pretty much more common nowadays. They're building more of those. But give it your take, it's like motorcycles and those 3 wheels, you know. Yeah, so that's the last question, guys. Keep on practicing. Don't give up. Don't overanalyze yourself. Overanalyzing yourself is trying to hardly check how you are improving. A lot of people are so impatient after trying a few questions. They want to analyze themselves, seeing where they are nowadays. This resembles people who go to the gym for a week or 2, 3 weeks, and then they start looking if they have built bigger muscles or became stronger. You're only going to understand how strong you have become after going for some time. So you have to keep on practicing and focusing on the actions, not over analyzing yourself. Just to know what you're supposed to do and do that. And then after a couple of times, you can go back and see if there is anything that you need to improve specifically. If it's the vocabularies that are missing or phrases that are missing, then you can add that one to your list. But constantly over analyzing is one of the reasons why people fail when it comes to improving their speaking skills. They don't have a chance to breathe. We could say that, if I were to call it. They don't have a chance to kind of like act and build something before they check if it's working or if it's getting better. So take your time, to practice first, and then later you could do a one-on-one with a friend, or probably recording yourself and listening to how you are doing, and then later you can start judging yourself. But don't overanalyze yourself. Don't judge yourself too much in the beginning. It's going to be terrible probably in the beginning. It won't be the way you want it to be, but after practicing for some time, you just see that things are getting better. All right, so best of luck in your coming lessons. I'm looking forward to seeing more of you. Don't forget to subscribe, to comment, like, and obviously after subscribing, don't forget to open the notifications, because those notifications help you to see when we have a new issue. Until next time, take care of yourself.